Good morning, viewers. Welcome to ST Money's Morning News, your weekday business news channel. It is Friday morning, October 18, 2024, and I'm your host, Sunil Thakker of Sunny Talks Money. Let's roll. The Dow Jones Industrial Average advanced on Thursday to its fourth record close in the last five sessions, as traders saw better than expected retail sales data and continued to digest strong corporate earnings report. The other main Wall Street benchmarks were largely unchanged as the S&P 500 dipped to a fraction loss and the Nasdaq Composite eked out a tiny win. US retail sales increased 0.4% in September, slightly more than expected, while weekly jobless claims fell unexpectedly. A broadly upbeat start to the third quarter earnings season, strong economic data, and the Fed kicking off its policy easing cycle have pushed the Dow and the S&P 500 to record highs in recent sessions, with the latter close to the psychological important 6,000 mark. Markets reacted to the stronger than expected monthly retail sales, which indicated a robust US consumer. Meanwhile, strong earnings from TSMC, that is Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, bolstered investors' optimism and buoyed chip makers' stocks after ASML had sparked worries earlier in the week. The Dow's industrial average gained 0.4% or 161 points to 43,239, is 39th record of the year. Meanwhile, gains by a number of semiconductor stocks helped cushion the S&P 500's decline even as many of the index's sectors traded lower. The S&P 500 dropped 1 point or 0.02% at 5,841, while the Nasdaq Composite climbed 6 points or 0.04% to 18,373. While the Dow advanced for the second straight day, small cap indexes fell. The Russell 2000 dipped 0.3% and the S&P Small Cap 600 slipped 0.2% a day after closing at their highest in nearly 3 years. A majority of S&P 500 sectors were also weaker, including rate-sensitive indexes such as utilities and real estate, which slipped 0.9% and 0.7% respectively. Strong results from Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC, the world's largest contract chip maker, reassured investors who had been spooked earlier in the week by a gloomy forecast from ASML Holding, which supplies semiconductor making machinery to chip makers. TSMC, the world's largest contract chip maker, beat market estimates for profit and forecast a jump in fourth quarter revenue driven by demand for artificial intelligence chips. The chip maker's US listed shares soared 9.8%, while artificial intelligence trade favorite and TMSC customer Nvidia gained 0.9%. Also, Micron Technology added 2.6% and Broadcom advanced 2.7%. The optimism spread to other chip stocks, sending the broader Philadelphia SE Semiconductor Index 1% higher. In earnings related moves, Travelers shares rose 9% after the insurer reported a quarterly profit of $1.2 billion, roughly three times what it earned a year earlier. It was the stock's biggest daily gain since March 2020 amid the market tumult of the early COVID-19 pandemic. Also, Blackstone Group advanced 6.3% to a record closing high after the money manager posted third quarter profit which beat market expectations. The S&P Banks Index edged up 0.1%, advancing for a fifth straight session, matching its mid-August run and just one of its six successive wins in April as a slew of larger regional banks posted third quarter numbers. M&T Bank and Synovus Financials rose more than 5%, but Trust Financial dropped 3.5% and Huntington Bank shares slipped 2.6%. Outside financials, health insurance Elevance Health plummeted 10.6%, its biggest one-day drop since the start of the pandemic in March 2020, after slashing its full-year profit forecast. CSX shares fell 6.7% after the railroad company missed expectations for sales and earnings. Alcoa shares dropped 4.1% after the aluminum producer sales came in lower than expected. Elsewhere in the markets, gold advanced 0.6% to $2,691 a troy ounce, a new record. The metals price is up 30% this year. Oil prices rose. Global benchmark Brent crude added 0.3% to $74.45 a barrel, snapping a four session losing streak. Asian stocks indexes fell. Both Hong Kong's Hang Seng and the Shanghai Composite declined more than 1%. Investors were underwhelmed by new measures to bolster the property sector. One other quirk is that US equity benchmarks have advanced in recent days, even as US Treasury yields have crept up. The yield on the benchmark 10-year US Treasury note rose to 4.095% from 4.015% on Wednesday, after data showed retail sales increased by an unexpectedly strong 0.4% last month. I'll leave here with you. That's it for today. I will see you again on Monday morning. Have a great weekend. In the meantime, let us know in the comments section what are your thoughts for the market. Happy investing, stay inspired, and remember, it's all about money.